A few minutes ago, the military wing of Hamas, Al-Qassam Brigade, claimed responsibility for firing more long-range rockets at Beersheba in the south of Israel. Before the attack or before the rockets that were fired by the Qassam, Islamic Jihad also claimed responsibility for firing another barrage of rockets into the same area, southern Israel. Hundreds of families in the north of Gaza Strip and from East Gaza across the borderline with Israel have evacuated their homes because of the heavy artillery fire that the Israeli artillery has been firing since the sunset or before the sunset until now. We could hear the explosion. Before this one is rocket fired from Gaza that was intercepted by the Israeli Iron Dome system. But in the background, we could hear intensive artillery shells landing along or across the border line with Gaza. As you mentioned, hundreds of families have evacuated, and some of them are taking from UNRWA schools as shelters. They just opened the doors and entered these schools. On the other hand, or the other side of the Gaza Strip, and particularly in Khan Yunis and in Rafah, the Israelis have destroyed some of the houses, and ambulance services, they confirmed to us that they have deployed all of their ambulances in order to rescue some of the people that they believe they are stuck under the rubble of their destroyed houses. The Bank of Blood of Gaza City has launched an appeal for blood donation because it's running out of blood because of the big number of casualties or injured people. We could hear now another strong barrage of rockets fired from Gaza into Israel. This is another long-range rockets fired from Gaza into Israel because of now we are familiar with kind of rockets when it's depends on the sound or the sonic of these rockets. We could understand that either they are longer or shorter range. So back to Gaza. The Indonesian hospital in the north of Gaza City also said that they have been receiving tens of injured people, and they have also received 11 bodies of Palestinians who were killed in the north of the Gaza Strip, specifically in the so-called the Bedouin village. This village is very much close to the Israeli borders and was affected and damaged by the fire of the Israeli artillery. The Israelis said that they have been firing such artillery in order to prevent Palestinian fighters from reaching the borders and kidnap more Israeli soldiers. So this is not a preparation for a ground operation, according to the Israelis, but this is like one of the preventive measures or actions that they are taking to prevent Palestinian fighters from approaching or breaching the Israeli borders. Still, the Dome system trying to intercept the rockets that have been fired from Gaza.
Safwat, I have to say that just listening to you talk with all those explosions in the background, I mean, it just sounds absolutely terrifying. And just to remind all the viewers that, of course, Gaza City especially, very densely populated. So you were saying that basically if you're in Gaza, you hear not only the sound of the rockets coming from Israel attacking Gaza, but also the ones that are sent by the Palestinian factions towards Israel, but then get intercepted by the dome. Is that correct? The Iron Dome. So basically, this is the sound that you hear, what, most night?
Look, the skyline of Gaza is flaming all the time, and it's turned into a battlefield. So, and as you described, Gaza is a very small place, and with 2 million people, and it's very overcrowded, if not the most overcrowded place in the world. So, whenever, as we say, as the Gazans say, if you throw stone, it will hit a house. So, how come with rockets or shrapnels of rockets that have been landing everywhere? So the structure of Gaza is very crowded, and the quarters, the residential quarters, are very much attached to each other. The population of Gaza is also dramatically increasing, and with this small place of land. So yes, either from rockets that been fired from Gaza into Israel and intercepted by Iron Dome, or also from the Israeli raids that the Israeli army has been carrying into Gaza. The population here can hear everything as if it's next to your door. So now you could hear. You can hear the explosions as if it's next to your home or next to our office here, but in reality, it's let's say few kilometers from our office. But still, because Gaza is a very small place, you could hear everything as if it were next to you. Look, this is what also the Minister of Health the day before yesterday, they focused on this issue. They said that these huge explosions would cause or there is fear that it will cause post-traumatic problems for the Palestinian children. Still, the Palestinian children have been suffering. Those who were children in the war of 2014, now they carried with them the post-traumatic problems, and some of them, they have been frequenting to mental health centers. So immediately after or following every war or every escalation, the mental health teams, they deploy in the Gaza houses. They start to contact families, specifically or especially those who live near the borders, or they visit the families who lost theirs, or those who lost their homes or their fathers. So they have their own. They conduct their researches immediately and start dealing and treating the trauma of the specifically or especially on children resulted from every or after every